Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Thursday's Tips and Talk. This is Lisa Markovich from Website Design, and today I'm going to go over 5 reasons why I think you should migrate over to a WordPress website. If your website is using a platform such as Wix, Weebly, Square, Google, and you want to increase your business with a really awesome kick-in website, you may want to consider migrating over to WordPress. If you are not using WordPress, do you love your website? How is the functionality? How quickly does it load? Is it engaging? How about the SEO? Have you checked on search engines to see how your website is ranking? What are your analytics telling you? These are important aspects of your website to monitor on a regular basis. You can check back on last week's Thursday Tips and Talk to review the 6 essential things you should do on a regular basis to keep your website healthy. So switching to WordPress is an easy migration, and you can keep your design. I love WordPress. I've always worked on this content management system. Out of all the choices out there, I felt WordPress was the most logical choice, and I'm going to explain why. If you have been considering migrating your website to WordPress, I have 5 great reasons why you should take that leap. Deciding to migrate to WordPress is one of the smartest decisions I think you can make. Not only is WordPress the most popular content management system that's around these days, but the platform itself is constantly being updated to incorporate the latest advancements in online publishing. WordPress is a global leader. WordPress is also much more popular than competing CMS platforms. So the CMS that you choose will play a big role in how your website performs. Because switching CMS providers is a big decision, and you should take plenty of time to research and think it through before actually migrating. And if you are on the fence about whether to migrate to WordPress, here are 5 great reasons why I think you should switch. The number 1 reason is it's easy to migrate and it's easy to manage. One of the most common reasons is to improve the back-end experience for yourself and your staff. WordPress is known as the easiest to use CMS on the market. The second reason is that total redesign is not necessary. So if you are happy with the way your website looks and it feels right, you can keep it. Migrating over to WordPress doesn't mean that you have to change your design. The migration process happens under the hood, which means on the back end. And most people who visit your site will have no idea you made any changes. I take that back. They may notice a couple of things. One thing they will definitely notice is that your page load times are faster and that the content is being updated on a regular basis. Migrating your website to WordPress without changing the design is definitely one way to keep your costs down. So if you make the switch and then discover that you like to freshen up the look of your website, that's something I can help you with. I can also help you with the whole entire migration process. The third reason is that WordPress has plugins galore. There's a huge library of useful and easy to integrate plugins. Plugins are small snippets of code that expand the functionality of WordPress websites. You can find plugins for almost any feature that you need. If you want to know more about plugins, just give me a call and I'll be happy to go over them with you. Reason number 4 for switching to WordPress is that your pages will load faster. So if your site is slow, it's very frustrating to website visitors. A slow load can also hurt your website search engine ranking. There are a few reasons this may be happening, like maybe your server hasn't been configured properly, or maybe there are too many users on the same server. And there's a plugin for that. Regardless of the issues you are currently having, you can feel confident in knowing that your pages will load faster after you migrate to WordPress. The last and final reason, number 5, is search engine optimization, which is something I briefly went over in last Thursday's Tips and Talk. And SEO is an important element. So if you want to capitalize on how you rank and how to reach your target audience, then your website should be running on the WordPress platform. WordPress does a much better job of optimizing for search engines than any other management systems. One reason why is because WordPress is an open source platform. Open source platforms are typically easier to navigate and updated more frequently as new features are released. Another reason WordPress sites perform better in search engine rankings is thanks to the many SEO tools and plugins that are available for you to try. You can try all of them and find what works best for you. So if one SEO plugin isn't delivering the results you need, you can try another. Yoast SEO is my favorite and widely regarded as the most effective SEO plugin to use. But there are literally hundreds of options available to help your website run the best that it can, and you're giving your website the TLC it needs every day. Please feel free to reach out with any questions you have on anything that I went over today. And please tune in next Thursday for Thursday's Tips and Talk.